What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we are going to be going over yet another tier list video. So at the start of January, I uploaded my own personal tier list video. Good and bad things came from that video. I know a lot of people disagree with it, but hey, that's exactly what these videos are about. This is all objective, my personal opinion in terms of the Japanese meta of legend characters. So in this video, I'm going to go over my updated tier list as of February this year, the start of February. At the start of each month, I want to make one of these videos just to overview the new characters that have come out and how they compare to the current state of metas of their legends and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy the video. Remember, this is all opinionated. If you don't agree, that's fine. Make sure to leave your comments down below. Remember, this is also based on the Japanese meta. This is not based on global. So if certain legends are here that you guys expected to be here, don't be salty about that, because you guys might be global only players, or you guys might not understand the Japanese meta. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So you're seeing on screen right now, starting off at the notable legends list. So I left out Magellan last time. The previous three were still here, and Magellan definitely deserves to be on here. Magellan is a very notable legend. As a captain, is hit or miss a lot of the time, but you know, as a sub, such an amazing special ability that it's so crazy how this guy enables just some people that can't beat content to just beat it. With his special ability allowing that poison to stack up very quickly, only taking like 5 or 6 turns to get 2 million damage stacked up against the opponent is exceptional. Also providing healing as well. Like, this guy overall, for his special, is exceptional. And his captain ability, as I said, it can be hit or miss, but with double Magellan, sometimes that is really effective in clearing some certain content. And the previous three here as well, you got Shirahoshi, Blackbeard, and Buggy as well. Obviously, Shirahoshi being probably the best sub in the game, and having a pretty decent captain ability as well. You have Blackbeard, who just completely negates all the damage negating abilities and barriers, so he's exceptional just for that. And Buggy is really nice to have for the dupe drops of some of the easier islands, which is very nice to have as well. Remember, this is just the notable legends. These are not based on any power level, and these legends in all these tiers are not ranked in any specific order. They're just put in there. It's just a random pool. Just those group of legends, I think, are in this specific group of tier. So in the notable legends, Shirahoshi, Blackbeard, Buggy, and also Magellan as well. I do believe that all these characters are very notable. They're not like exceptional high tier characters, but they are really nice to have. All of these characters are very cool. So that's basically all I really wanted to say about the notable legends. But now let's get into like the real nitty gritty of it, which is like the top of the line legends, the legends you want to get, the best legends in the game. So we're gonna go over to tier 1. Tier 1, exceptional characters in terms of power, speed, and reliability. So starting from the top, I'm just going to list them and then kind of go through each one and my opinions of them. So starting off, we've got Neko, Law, V2 Lucci, Hody Jones, V2 Fuji, V2 Rayleigh, Robin, V2 Law 6+, we have version 2 Boa, and also Frankie as well. So let's start it off at the top. So we got Neko and Law. It's pretty understandable why these guys are here. These guys are honestly some of the craziest units in the game. On global, they are definitely top tier. Like, honestly, like the first three here, you have Neko and Law, and then you have Lucci. Like, those three in particular are probably the 3 best legends on global right now. And still in Japan to this day, they are exceptional characters, and they can clear pretty much anything that you really need to clear. So there's not really much to say here. It makes sense why they're here. And then you've got Hody Jones. Now, the reason why Hody Jones is here, a lot of people seem to disagree with this for some reason. Hody Jones, if you guys don't know, can clear everything exceptionally fast. Even one of the content previously, before his 6+ came out, one of the things he had struggle clearing was the Law Forest, because you couldn't bring Kobe. You have to have 6 powerhouse characters on your crew. But with his 6+, he provides that much power and that much cooldown reduction that you don't even need to bring Kobe. And if you guys think that that is impossible, then go check out, I believe it was either Alex Kim or the Shadow Fortress uploaded a video of that. It's exceptional. Like, Hody Jones is an amazing captain. Of course, when you are taking tier lists into like just thinking about each character and why they're here, you gotta, in a hypothetical situation, if you have every single unit in the game, that's exactly what a tier list is. This is based off endgame content, and in a hypothetical situation, if you have every unit in the game, Hody Jones fits this build perfectly. He is extremely powerful and very fast. Does miss the mark a little bit on reliability, because obviously not having that much health, you can die really quickly if you do mess up. But having the constant 3.25, that's never going to be taken away from you. If you get a character blown away, I'm not too sure if you actually lose a bit of that multiplier. Not too sure, but even still, Hody Jones is exceptional and can clear, I think, just about everything in the game at this point. Then we have version 2 Fuji. Fuji is really cool. I personally said this in the last video as well. I'm not a massive fan of Fujitora. I don't like the way he's built. As a captain, he's really, really strong, of course, because when he is set as captain, he provides that really nice 3.25 constant for slashes, and then you can hit good, great, perfect to get a 4.2 or something like that. So he's really nice. In most cases, you just attack regularly against mob characters with the 3.25 multiplier, and when you're against a single boss, that's when you'd hit good, great, perfect. And even people would say, but if you hit good, great, perfect, you're not going to have your chain multiplier at the highest state. But that's exactly why Adventure Mode Mihawk is there. Like, Adventure Mode Mihawk and Fuji are like best friends. They work so well together, and as I said before, Fuji being captain can provide all those matching orbs for your crew, as well as a substantial amount of damage. I think it ends up being 200 times his attack. So Fuji is an exceptional captain. Slashes overall, not one of the best classes in the game. He's in, like, slashes are in that mid tier where they're not the best, but they're far from the worst as well. So, you know, they're really strong still. I did drop down Mihawk from the previous tier list. I do think that, as we've seen the kind of content that's been coming out, I really don't think that Mihawk is all that viable as a captain. Yeah, he's 3.5, but you have to hit perfects consistently, and it can cause troubles against some certain barriers and stuff like that. So as a captain, Int Hawk, he's still really good, but I'd say if I was going to put him anywhere, he'd be like the tier below this. And people might also ask, why isn't there like a tier 2 to talk about the legends that aren't as good as tier 1? I mean, I can do that. That is a potential thing that could happen in the future. Like guys like Akainu, Tansky Luffy would be in that tier as well, because they just don't pair up as much with these guys. I think these guys are just so far above that second tier that I don't really need to put them in there. I really wanted to just talk about the main guys that are at the top of the game right now. So Slashes and V2 Fuji is why he's here. Next we have version 2 Rayleigh. Version 2 Rayleigh is exceptional now, especially with all of the cerebral support that has been coming out recently with obviously the new Robin, and that's why Law is here as well. All three of these characters are very viable cerebral captains. Any one of these guys is probably the best. Like, these are probably equal best cerebral captains. You've got the Rayleigh, who provides that really nice constant 3.5 under 30% or 2.5 above that, but he also lowers cooldown at the start of the adventure, which is nice as well. You've got Robin, who's a constant 3.25 and 20% damage reduction, and treats recovery as matching. Then you've got the Law, who is a constant 3 times with a health boost, and he also will give you recovery after every single perfect, and he himself is a 2.25 orb booster for his own class. So having Law as the captain is so good, because having him as your captain means that he already fulfills a role in your crew, so it gives you an extra slot for the rest of the members of your crew. So Law is probably my go-to, I would say, but Robin is still exceptional as well, because she provides the 20% damage reduction, and she also provides the damage negation abilities with her special. And then you got Rayleigh, whose special is, it equals probably Shirahoshi in being one of the best specials in the game. Like, it's a 200,000 fixed damage, 3 times chain lock, mass amounts of orb manipulation. It probably does something else as well. I completely forgot. It does so many different things that I've completely forgotten all of the effects. But with the cerebral batch that's come out with Robin, the new Nami is one of the big pushes for cerebral right now. 2-turn type boost, 1.75 first turn, 2.25 next turn. She is so good for cerebral teams, and cerebral already have a ton of orb boosters already, so they've got a good type booster, they've got a good orb booster. Also 6+ Crocodile just came out as well, who's also really helpful for cerebrals. And the great thing about Law and Robin is the fact that you don't have to play at low HP anymore, which is so good. Like, that was one of the big, like, negative factors about Cerebral, was the fact that they needed to play at low HP a lot of the time. But it's really nice now that Cerebral do have different options now, so they don't have to rely on being at 1 health or under 30% all the time. Even though Rayleigh, for the most part, is probably going to be your go-to Cerebral, and a lot of people are going to be playing Rayleigh, I do think that people are kind of undermining how good Law and Robin are as captains. Those guys are really good. And then just below them, we have the 2 shooters. We have Frankie and Boa. Now, people might wonder, why the hell is Boa in here? Shooters are like the worst in the game. One of my big things that I'm advocating right now for shooters is the fact that they have guaranteed conditional boosts. They've got access to Colosseum Raizo, who's a 1.75 conditional, and he will change tandem and recovery, which is really good for Boa teams in particular, because then you can get a full border matching with Boa. But it's also just due to the fact that you know, you can use 6 plus Usopp. 6 plus Usopp gives you a guaranteed delay even if the enemy does have a delay protector or debuff protector. So guaranteed conditional boost, which is so good. And I do think that if shooters get more support in the future, that combination is going to be seeing a lot of play. So that's really cool. And with Frankie's awesome as well. Obviously isn't really related to shooters, but I think, in my personal opinion, shooters are probably one of the best teams for Frankie, and this just further improves Boa as well. And we all know how good Boa is. She provides 1k heal per turn, the constant 3.25 as long as you are hitting the perfects, of course. Frankie is a rainbow 3 times boost that potentially can go up to a 4 times boost with his captain action. Also provides a health boost, and his special is a 2 times type booster for fighters, shooters, slashers, strikers. Frankie's awesome. I just don't think he's like that top tier, and I do think that Law, like the 2 Laws and also Lucci, I think those guys are better than him still. But you know, Frankie is still a very good character. You know, he doesn't have to run shooters either. He can run the fighter teams, he can run the slasher teams, he can run the striker teams too. Like, there's so many different combinations that you can do with Frankie, and that's one of the reasons why he's really good, is the fact that you can run multiple different team compositions to come up against different content, which is really good. And Boa, as I said before, Boa gets a really nice boost with Frankie, because you can use Frankie as like a friend captain or whatever, or you could use Boa as a sub. Like, there's really nice combinations with Boa, and I do think Boa is really underrated because she does have amazing survivability. As I said before, 3.25 attack boost, and she gets 3k heal with double Boa and the auto heal. So Boa's really underrated. I really think she is very much underrated, and shooters have decent teams. The thing that shooters lack right now is really good, like really strong utility, and also the fact that they don't have many health cutters either. So that really brings them down. I mean, it does really lower their damage output, and that's just the thing. Like, their best captain for shooters is probably Frankie, because he does provide the highest attack multiplier as a captain. But Boa is a really nice unit for that as well. But, you know, constant 3.25 can be a little bit low, considering that shooters don't have a 2 times orb booster, which I still don't know why they don't have a 2 times orb booster. Like, when you compare Robin and Boa, they both have the same attack multiplier, but Cerebral do have a lot better subs than what shooters have right now. So, you know, if anyone was going to go down in this list, it would probably be Boa at this point. But I do think that Boa got a lot of good boosts there from Frankie. So that's the reason why Boa's here in particular. So now that we've gone ahead and gone over my reasonings for these characters in Tier 1, let's go up to the top tier, which is Tier 0. So yeah, if I was going to put anyone else in here, maybe Zoro could slide in here. I'm not 100% sure who else can really fit in this top tier. Obviously, characters that a lot of people would be wondering about would be Akainu, Timeskip Luffy, and Gear 4, and all those characters. I'm just going to say, in terms of Japan content right now, I just don't think those guys would fit in here that well. Obviously, Luffy can still clear, Timeskip Luffy can still clear quite a lot of content, but I do think that these characters have a much easier time at doing so. But hey, it's all my opinion anyway. It's all my opinion. As I said, if you guys have any differing opinions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section down below. I'd be interested to hear you guys' opinions. But now we've got Tier 0, the big boys of One Piece Treasure Cruise. This has not changed since I made the video. I believe Dofi was out when I made the first video. I'm pretty sure he was. So, top tier is the highest tier. Nothing competes with these characters. So, until further notice, these characters dominate every piece of content with relative ease. Lucy, Judge, Doflamingo. These characters are hands down the best characters, or best overall legends in One Piece Treasure Cruise right now. Obviously, Lucy, understandable why. He's a fighter striker. He mainly plays with the 3 colors, Strength, Dex, and Quick. And for the most part, you're going to be using striker-based units, but you don't have to either. You know, there are lots of really nice utility units that you can use with Lucy, and that's the thing, right? Lucy has access to 3 different colors, and he can literally deal with any debuff for the most part. He can literally deal with most debuffs in the game, and clear the content as well as dealing with the debuff. So Lucy is hands down just the best character in the game. He doesn't nothing competes with him right now. I do think that Lucy is still that top tier. And then you've got Dofi and Judge. These guys can almost be partnered together, I would say. You know, Judge in his own right is really nice with the Germa 66 team, running that really nice powerhouse squad. And he also runs really well with the Driven team with a Doflamingo captain or friend captain. So yeah, Judge works really well with the Driven squad, the new Dofi batch as well. So that works really well. And obviously Doflamingo, which we all know and love. Doflamingo V2 is crazy. He's one of the coolest characters in the game. Has a very unique special, 3.9 times multiplier as a captain with a matching orb, and with his badge you are getting matching orbs a lot of the time, especially if you're using like the limited rare recruit Kobe, or if you are using the treasure mode Cavendish. Like, there's so many ways to get orbs with this team, and there's so many make good boosters in the Driven team as well. So Doflamingo just has so much damage output right now, and even though Driven doesn't really have a lot of utility based units, he doesn't have many good healers either. Even though all those things are kind of factoring like against Doflamingo, he can still clear the content. And people might say Doflamingo special is useless if the enemy has a barrier. Well, he does have a 3.9 multiplier still, and he can still just tear through the enemy even if he can't use his special. So that's one of the good things about Doflamingo, is that even if he's like nerfed in that ability where he can't use his special, he's still got a 4 times multiplier essentially, so you know, he's not going to have any trouble with content. And Judge, obviously, massive health boost, damage reduction, and nearly a 4 times multiplier with a matching orb. Judge is so good, man. He's insane. He's a better Akainu, really. That's exactly what he is. He is a better Akainu. There's not much else to say about why Judge is in this top tier, especially, as I said, Germa 66. And the Judge squad, you're going to be clearing everything, essentially. I don't think there's anything in the game that can really stop that at this point. At this current time, I don't think there's anything in the game that stops the full Germa squad. And as I said, the Judge with the full Dofi squad can also work really well as well. Especially if you're using treasure mode Cavendish, because he makes the Psi Orbs count as beneficial, and obviously Judge gives you more Psi Orbs, so that works really well. Obviously, it doesn't even have to be treasure mode Cavendish, it could be limited rare recruit Kirby, who's also a really good choice, probably the better choice, because he fills up the int spot in the crew, because you can't have double Judge and Cavendish, you need to have one of every color. So limited Kobe is probably the best if you're going to run a Driven squad with Judge, because Judge is your orb booster, you'd have Kobe as your type booster, and that would work really well. So hypothetically, if you had every character in the game, Judge, Dofi, Lucy, best characters to work with that can clear everything in the game. So that's pretty much my whole breakdown of my current tier list. As I said, I want to kind of make these videos every single month. So at the start of March, I will hopefully be able to update this, and hopefully there's a new couple of legends that have come out during February, so I can bring out another one of these tier lists for you guys. If not much really happens during a certain month, I might just skip a month, because there probably won't be much changes at all. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.